Alright, we're back. And I'd actually got asked about making this video from somebody a couple days ago, so I'll show the comment here. But I'm surprised that anybody's even curious to see what my setup looks like because it's not that great. It's nothing that impressive. I mean, I've taken the last couple years to kind of, you know, add to it over time and upgrade my PC and like all that stuff, but it's nothing that's like super insane. But I am just gonna be sticking like with this video. I'm gonna try to make it as not boring as possible, but I'm gonna be trying to stick at the setup, not, you know, my entire room, because I would imagine that people don't give a shit about what else is in my room except for my setup. But I guess I'll just jump into this. So I am gonna be saving this for last, but I'll just start out with something small. Obviously, I mean, I don't know if you can hear it in the videos or not, but I have a Razer Black Widow Ultimate keyboard. I've had this for the last couple years, and I don't think I'll ever switch out to anything besides this. Everything about it just feels so nice, and it sounds so nice. Like, I still love it. It does get a little bit annoying sometimes, but overall I love it. And then right next to the $200 keyboard, I have about a $3 mouse. Bruh. So I need to show you guys why I actually have this mouse instead of my Razer Naga. So I had a Razer Naga Epic. I still do have it. It's just not here. And it would make more sense for me to be using that, right? Because it's way nicer. It has buttons on it. It's just a better mouse. It's not a $3 mouse. But the problem is, let me just show you. So when I'm editing in Vegas, obviously I'm splitting the clip like this. So obviously this isn't like a full-blown video. This is just one clip. But when I'm editing in Vegas, I gotta split it and then, you know, cut out whatever I need to cut out. And then delete the footage that I don't need. I'm really trying to explain this the best I can. And then I have this empty space here. And I always, when I'm editing, I always just drag it to, you know, meet up with the last clip so that it gets cut right. But on the other mouse, the left click, for some reason, like, wouldn't stay registered. So I would go to drag stuff all the time, and then it would just stop in the middle of me dragging it. And I'm going quick when I'm editing. So, like, I'm trying to get everything done as quickly as I can. So when I'm doing that constantly, and I'm going to drag clips, and it's just not registering, and the clips are not getting dragged to where I need to, if that makes sense, it gets real fucking annoying. So that's why I changed out, and I just got this mouse, because it's not like I really use keyboard and mouse for any games right now anyway, like not that much. So that's why I have that instead of the Razer. But I used that thing for like months before I ended up actually like switching it out and getting a new mouse, and I would get so pissed off when I was editing. But next I got a, what is this? A HyperX Quadcast mic. I only got this like a couple months ago, like right around the time of MW2, and this is the best mic I've ever gotten. I still have a Blue Yeti. It's in my closet right now, but for some reason the gain on it like was stuck at the max level, so no matter what, even if there was no noise happening in the room at all, there was like a buzzing sound in it for some reason, so I had to start using my Astro mic on my headset to make videos for a little bit. And then eventually I broke down and ended up just buying this because I needed a mic. I needed an actual mic. But overall, I love this thing. And it was super, super simple to hook up. That was one of my favorite parts. Like, you literally just plug it in, your PC picks it up. You don't have to mess with any settings really. I have the gain set like a little bit above, you know, like the minimal amount of it, but it sounds amazing. And I don't have any soundproofing or anything in my room, obviously. So 100% I am incredible. And it's not even that expensive either. It was like $130. It was not an expensive mic at all. And it sounds so good. It sounds so good. Built-in pop filter. Amazing. And then speaking of Astros, yeah, I had this video pulled up. I was watching it again. But this is the best headset I've ever, oh shit, shut up. I know a lot of people have kind of been switching now to like Turtle Beaches for a headset, but I don't think I'm ever gonna turn my back on Astro, ever. Everything about this headset is perfect. Number one, I've had so many headsets that I've worn for like more than 2 hours and it ends up killing my head and my ears. I have not once had a problem with this headset. Never in my life have I worn this headset too long and it started getting uncomfortable. So that's the main thing. The sound quality in them is amazing. The sound quality from the mic is actually not bad at all, but it's just not good for making videos, I don't think. But if you're just talking to your friends, like using it for game chat or something, then it's perfectly fine. And also when you take them off, you can spin them and put them around your shoulders. So easily 10 out of 10 headset. And I've also had these for, I don't know, probably 2.5 years now, and I've thrown them and shit, never broke. I'm not saying throw yours if you have them, but they're pretty durable. Oh yeah, and anybody that's curious, these are Astro A40s. I was gonna get the 50s, but I didn't feel like spending an extra $100 just for them to be wireless. And I also don't think you can take like these out on the A50s if I can get it out. These things that just kind of magnetically stick in there like that. Yeah, I don't think you can take those off on the 50s. And I don't want my fucking headphones to die in the middle of me playing. So the 40s were the way to go. And then with it, I obviously got the mix amp as well, so that works out very nicely. I've actually used this thing a good bit in Warzone. If it gets down to like the final few people and I'm like last alive on my team and I don't want to hear my friends fucking with me, then I can just turn this knob over this way and then it shuts off the game chat pretty much completely, and I just hear the game audio. I haven't really messed around with anything else on them besides that, but you know. And then next up, I have something that now I can't live without. I fucked up by getting one of these. I mean, I didn't really fuck up, but I would not be able to play Call of Duty without a Scuff at this point, because I don't play claw, so I'm just holding it normally, so these paddles actually are like very, very, very helpful. But I played Call of Duty for like 10 years without a Scuff, and then eventually I just didn't know what to get for Christmas, so I decided to ask my parents for this. This is a Scuff Impact, a PS4 version of it, and the PS4 controller. I know Xbox controllers, like I know the nostalgia and everything, but PS4 controllers are my absolute favorite. I think they that is the best design for a controller, I think. But this thing has everything pretty much that I could have gotten on it. Like I have the trigger stoppers on it, not the electric ones or whatever, the ones that you just like tap them and they shoot, because I don't want that. I just have like the regular trigger stoppers. Concave joysticks on both sides of it, because domed are, I don't know how the fuck people use domed joysticks. I can't stand that. Rumbles are taken out of it, so it's super light. And then I think this is the military grip on the, yeah, this is a military grip on the back, not the performance. And then obviously I have all 4 paddles on the back of it. That's why I got an Impact instead of just getting a regular PS4 one, because I wanted all 4, even though I only used 3 of them. All right, I tried to lean down a little bit so you guys can see my face, but I can't do it. But I wanted to show you guys which paddles I have programmed for which buttons. So over here, all the way on the left, I have this set to X, so I can use this to jump. And then right here, the one next to it, I have this one set to O, so I can melee. But this is the paddle that I actually never use. Like, I just don't. This paddle right next to this one, in the middle, I have this one set to no. What do I have this one set to? This one's set to switch weapons. This one's triangle. I know because I'm constantly hitting it. I'm one of those people that just like fidgets and YYs while they're playing all the time. I just don't fucking overdo it, but I do click this a lot when I'm playing. And then the one all the way on the right, this one's set to reload. So when I'm playing, my hands look like this, and this just, it feels so much better. Like I said, I played with a regular controller forever, and I didn't play like claw or anything, so I was like, I was just moving my thumb super quick to like jump around and shit while I'm getting into gunfights with people. And if for some reason you are considering getting a Scuff, number one, this is my second one, because the first one, if you guys have been watching my videos for the last couple months, I actually had to get another one because my joystick for the sprint button, it wouldn't fucking register. Like, it would click and then I would move it up. I don't know where it's, oh, it's in the box. I don't feel like getting it though. But I would go to sprint and then I would obviously move my thumb up to move forward. And when you would push the joystick up, it would like unlock it from being press down, if that makes sense. So I would go to run and then my character would stop, and it got real fucking annoying real quick. So I just ended up buying the exact same controller. It's the other controller, it looks exactly the same. Everything about it is the exact same, but I just haven't had any problems with this one. I don't think I'll end up getting any problems with it. I hope to God, because it is expensive. It's like a $300 controller with everything kitted out on it. Yeah, it's stupid. It's not a very smart thing to do. It also took me a good like 2 weeks to get used to it, but once I was used to it, it was way, way, way easier to play. So overall, yeah, I guess it was worth it. I wouldn't be able to play without it now, so. So right here, this is my main monitor. This is my gaming monitor. Ignore the files all over it. I know people are going to be pausing just to look at what files are on here. This is all thumbnail shit. These are all rendered videos. And then this is all like vlog footage and shit that I just haven't moved around to an external hard drive. And then the stuff over here is just like random stuff. But I don't know if you guys can see, this is an Asus monitor. I think this is 26 or 27 inches, I want to say. I think it's a 0.1 millisecond response time, 165 hertz. I don't really know any other specs on it, to be completely honest. I threw away the box. Like, I don't even know what the name of this monitor is. I just know that it looks good and it has a really fast response time. Okay, I'm back after like 20 minutes. I had to move some files onto my computer because I was scared my SD card was filling up. But anyway, I think the last thing I was talking about was my monitor here. And like I said, I don't have like really the specifics on it besides the response time on it. I think that's a 0.1 millisecond. Also, I shut the blinds, so the lighting should be a little bit better now. And I think it's 26 or 27 inches. Oh yeah, and this is only 1080p. This isn't a 2K or 4K monitor. And then next to it, I have my second monitor. I really don't see the point of having 3 monitors like at all. I feel like the third one's just there as like a distraction or something if I had like Twitter opened up or something, but really anything above 2 monitors right now, I don't see a reason for it. But obviously this one's another Asus monitor. This one's only 60 hertz because this is the one that I actually used for PlayStation before, so I just figured I would use it as my second monitor on my PC because this one is obviously the one that I use for gaming. I kind of like the colors on this monitor more. It's not getting picked up in the camera, but this one's like very, very saturated, and I'm sure I can change that around if I really want to, but I'm a little bit lazy. But yeah, this isn't anything. This is just a normal monitor. Another, I think this is 26 inches as well. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Oh yeah, I do know what else. Up here, this is the face cam that I use. I'll actually open it up right now. This is a Logitech C920. I've had this thing for years, and I don't plan on switching it out at all. I mean, having like a deep, whatever the hell they're called, I don't know what it is, but yeah, now this is weird. But yeah, this is what it looks like. It only records in, I think, 30 FPS, so it's nothing like super crazy, but it's super easy to use. I know a lot of YouTubers and streamers now have like the big, I think they're DLSSRs or something like that. They're enormous cameras and they record in like 4K 60 frames a second. Like, that's nuts. The problem is though, those things are incredibly expensive and the files would be massive when I go to record with it, because I record for like 30 minutes or 30 or 40 minutes when I make my gaming videos. So these files are only like a couple gigs when I'm using just a regular face cam that's only recording in 30 FPS, 720p. But if I'm recording in 1080p 60 FPS for that long, the files will be enormous. But yeah, obviously I want to point that out. It's part of my setup. And then I had kind of forgotten to mention it at the beginning of the video, but obviously this is the desk. It's just a regular L desk. I should probably stand up to get a better angle of it. But yeah, from far away, that's what it looks like. It's got plenty of room. And then right down here, I kind of forgot to point this out as well. This is a 4 terabyte external hard drive that's almost filled all the way up, by the way. And once I get to talking about my PC specs, that's why I pointed that out. It'll be very surprising. I'm terrible at managing the space on my computer. And I know I said I wouldn't go outside of my setup, but over here is just kind of, this is just like cleaning wipes. Canned air that's almost empty, actually. So let me just... There's so much dust, it's disgusting. Never gonna be able to clean it all the way up. Oh yeah, and then ZQL, because if I need to get up early, then that's the secret to getting up early. I'm not sitting here encouraging it, but it's what I gotta do. It's just, that's the best way for me to do it. Knocks me right the fuck out. But the final, actually, also I have a TV right there that I use sometimes when I'm gaming, but mainly that's just for when I go to bed, because I can turn it around if there's like a game or something on and I can see myself in the reflection. I don't like that. But if there's a game on or something and I'm sitting here playing, then I just lean back and look up and watch that while I'm doing whatever I'm doing over here. And then yeah, also I keep forgetting to point stuff out. This is just a SteelSeries mouse pad. This thing is pretty nice, but who gives a fuck? It's a mouse pad. But the final thing that I want to talk about is obviously like the main part of everything. This is the fucking heart of my entire setup. My computer. So I've had this PC for the last couple years. It's incredibly dusty. The dust filter is disgusting on it. Obviously, I got the extra USB ports on it, which I desperately need more. I forget what the case is called, but this is a mid-tower. I was actually considering getting an Obsidian 500D a couple months ago, but it's just a lot of work because my GPU actually does get like pretty hot when I'm playing. I mean, I have it up in my videos. If you look up in the left side of my corner, or the left corner of my screen, you'll see the temperature of my GPU, and it gets up to like 77 when I'm playing MW2, and if I'm playing Modern Warfare, it gets up to like 81, which isn't something that'll destroy my computer, but it just, I don't really love it being that hot. But to run you guys through the specs, I don't know exactly which fans these are. They're just Cooler Master fans. I have one fan there, obviously part of the tower. I have an extra fan there. I got two, no, I just have one fan over there. So the cooling is just kind of, it just barely gets by, only because a 3080 is not something that's really meant for a mid tower. I actually used to have a 1080 and then I broke down and got a 3080 right before the 40 series dropped because I wanted to try and get one while the price wasn't ridiculous for it. I could actually go in and open this up. That way I can get a better look in it. That is much better. So yeah, like I said, I have an EVGA RTX 3080 for the Win 3. This is like a really, really high-end 3080. Even though it's not a Ti, I kind of wish I would have brought the Ti, but I didn't. Part of the reason I didn't though is because I was planning on keeping the old power supply that I had, and when I Googled it, it said that 600, I think I had a 650 watt gold. It said that would be enough to run a 3080. It was not. If you're gonna get a GPU and you Google it, and it says that the power supply that you have is enough, go above that. You need to have like a comfortable amount of space between the limit and how much extra power you have. Does that make sense? So the biggest power supply that I could fit in this tower was an 850 Platinum. I couldn't find any 850 Ti's, but I mean 850 Platinum was more than enough. And that solved all the problems because like I said, when I initially got this graphics card and I was using the 650, when I would play, my game would just shut down like randomly. And it kept happening often, more and more often over time. and the power supply was getting hot as fuck when I was playing with the old one. So I got a 3080 and then I got 4 sticks of 8 gig RAM. 32 gigs of RAM isn't like anything crazy, but it's enough. And then I already went over the power supply, and then I have, what's it called? I actually have to look this up. Okay, yeah, the processor I have is an i7-9700K, 3.6 gigahertz. Again, nothing like super crazy, but it's enough. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention the amount of space that I have. So I have a 4 terabyte hard drive in there, and then I have a 1 terabyte SSD. And when I had initially got that, I was like, oh, that's gonna be more than enough space. I filled up the hard drive, got an external hard drive that was like $90. It was 4 terabytes, like I had said. And now pretty much everything is almost filled up to the max. So I'm gonna have to get another 4 terabyte hard drive, because the thing is, I'm not like, the stuff, it's a bunch of just footage. It's a bunch of content that I save because I don't like to delete my videos in case I have to like use it for a future video, if that makes sense. So yeah, I filled up a lot of space. I only have like 4 games installed on my computer. I have Modern Warfare, MW2, Outlast, CSGO, and then Minecraft, and that's like pretty much it. I really want to play through GTA 5 again, but I would have to delete like a couple things in order to even install it. And then if anybody's curious about like the frames that I get, if you haven't really watched my gaming videos, so for MW2 I play with the render resolution set to 2K. Obviously it just upscales it from 1080p, so it doesn't necessarily look as good as 2K, but it still looks better, if that makes sense. With everything like relatively low now, for some reason, I think it's just because my computer's getting a little bit older and because I'm running out of space on my SSD, which can have like a pretty big effect on your frame rate. I normally get around, like when I don't have OBS open, if I'm just recording, you know, with shadow play, then I get around multiplayer around like 1 to 150, depending on how much shit's going on. 150 is like rare for me to reach. Warzone 1 on Rebirth, I would get around like 100. Again, like same deal, I would have the settings cranked like a little bit down. I used to play with them pretty high, but then I turned them back down. Over on Warzone and Rebirth, I would get like anywhere from 120 to 160 over there. And then, actually that's a little bit generous. I would get around 100 to 120 in Rebirth, and then on multiplayer for MW, it ran super well. That was like anywhere from 120 to, I guess, 160. Again, that's with like pretty good settings. If I cranked everything up to 4K, turn on ray tracing and all that stuff, which MW2 doesn't even have for some reason, I don't think, I'd get around like 70 to 90 in Rebirth, and then for multiplayer I'd get like 100. I'd just kind of stick around that. So those are kind of like the benchmarks. I know there's a bunch of videos out there showing like what the frame rate looks like and all that stuff, but I figured I would just give my input if anybody was thinking about getting this graphics card. And also, if you use your graphics card to render videos and stuff, Vegas 18, I went over this. It renders shit so quick now. It renders it in real time. So if the video is 10 minutes, it'll take 10 minutes to render. If it's 20-minute long video, it takes about 15 to 20 minutes. And if there's anything that I missed in here that anybody else is curious about, I'll just kind of toss it in a vlog somewhere or something and just bring it up. I'm talking about like stuff in my room, and focus, let's go, come on. I'm just talking about like stuff in my room, but I think I hit everything on my setup itself. So yeah, this is what it looks like one more time if it'll fucking focus. So I hope this video helped, you know. I know you were curious. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you guys made it all the way, yeah, remember, drop a like, and if you're new here, subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.